everybody, Vegas here with Secret Note. We're here with Don from Miggs, and so we were playing tonight with Thriving Ivory and at Welch Cup Live. Yep. How's the tour been so far?
The tour's been really great. We have a little history with Thriving Ivory. We both sort of cut our teeth in San Francisco, and at one point we were the two sort of bands that were starting to have things happen, and then the wheels fell off of Miggs, and those guys just kept kind of doing their thing, and it worked for them. And then, funny enough, we were in LA, we played a show with Ed, an acoustic show, and so it's sort of full circle. So now here we are, and it's really cool. And the bands are both great. We think it's a great show for people to come see, because we're all different enough, but it's a great rock show. Actually, our first album, the Miggs album, came out in 2002, all independent stuff, and then it was around 2008 that this is where it started. The soul is still there because I still write the songs, you know. While in any incarnation of the band I've been in, I've always had musicians that were better than me. But this is really, this version is a real kind of cool band. And we're all really good friends, and it's a total band. While the name of the band is Miggs, certainly I did not name the band. It wasn't my idea to name it after myself. It worked out that way, but these guys bring a certain bit of heft and depth to the music. It's a little less heady and a little more obvious. It's tough. What happened for a while there, I just resolved that it was never going to be the same guys, and I was going to wind up being like some of the people I love. I love Butch Walker, I love Elvis Costello, and those guys always wound up there. It was more like a traveling circus, you know, and this tour would be this band backing them, and then this tour would be that. But that never really felt right to me. I tried doing a solo thing. I like being in a band. I like being in a gang. It feels better to me. It affects me because it makes me sing songs a little differently. Because some bands, some incarnations, it was more vocal heavy, like everyone sang. Or some bands, we had a really technical drummer. He did things really a certain way, and so it kind of made it a little bit different. And this is the first time where we recorded the album. The same members who toured and recorded the album, we've all had a hand in it, and it just feels like a rock band, which is what I wanted to be in, you know? Not like one genre, just a rock band, and have us touch on a bunch of things. Ken knows where like I always equate it to, you walk in a room and it's dark, somebody has to know where the light switch is, and Ken knows right where it is. He knows how to get you where you want to go. I can tell you that he left us alone if the song deserved to be left alone. And when he knew that we weren't behind with all of our heart and soul, he'd suggest something different. And songs like Incredibly Close, Wide Awake, they all transformed with him into songs that I'm really proud of. And then there were songs like Summer Takes the Fall and Fire, where he just said, the song is right the way it is, you know, leave it. He tried to make a change in the middle of one of the songs, and I just said, no, I really feel strong. He said, that's what I need to hear. I need to know that you're willing to say, I'm putting this out no matter what. And if you are, he said, I'll work with that. So it was good, and he kept us on a schedule, but it was loose enough. He made me sing. And this is the first album that I've ever done where I actually don't hate my voice. You know, where there's a song or two I'm like, ooh, I sound like I actually... My favorite albums, they all make you feel a little melancholy, you know? You feel a little sort of like, I don't know, like the first day of fall, like it is today, where I don't know, there's a little bit of where you feel a little like past something, you're a little nervous about something. I don't know, I get a pit in my stomach with my favorite albums, and I wanted the album to feel like that, and I wanted it to be timeless. I didn't want someone to say, well, that album was obviously done in 2010, because it's changed. Since it used to be the sensational meant. Right. Sensational meant you actually had a craft and you were good at it. Now sensational is, did you flash your boobs or did you throw up on, you know, the president or something? And we wanted to make a record that felt like it could have fit into almost any time period and any genre, where you weren't like, well, that's obviously this kind of album. And so if people give it a chance, I think from tracks 1 through 12, you're going to go, not that we're a totally different band, but you're going to say, you know what? I feel different today, and that song speaks to me today. And I love albums like, I love Coheed Cambria and stuff like that, but that's for a certain group, right? And I wanted to make a record that, like the Beatles and the Stones would do albums where they'd have the craziest song, you know, I Am a Hammer or something, and then they'd have Eleanor Rigby, and I wanted the album to feel like that. We all struggled with how it was going to open, but we always sort of knew how it was going to close and how we wanted the mood to take you. I want all of the albums to sort of feel like you're waking up and then going to sleep. So it peaks in like songs like Don't Come Around, which are high energy and sort of crazy, and then it goes down to a song like Bright Light and Crawl Inside, and then coming back down for the night. And I like that sort of feeling on that. I wish I were cool enough to be in Arcade Fire. I could be to do that. I've always just been like I have pop sensibilities and it always came out, you know, and I'm trying to even strip some of that away to get even closer to the music I love, which is more like Arcade Fire. I love Gaslight Anthem. I actually love the new Arcade Fire.
Yeah.
I just started listening last night on my trip from Cincinnati to the Nashville, the new album, and I'm loving that. You know, there's a couple songs on that that really do it for me. See, I like the idea. We have a little bit of a problem where you can become too proficient at your instrument, and then it becomes like math. And so what I think we're going to do for the next album is make everyone switch instruments for a little bit. You know, everyone plays everything, which is good, and just sort of say, you play this, because Ryan's such a good drummer, but he's a great guitar player too. Maybe you play the guitar, I'm going to play the drums, and the drums then will sound a little more Wilco. I love the Gaslight Anthem. I just miss it. The problem with being on tour is you miss everyone else who's on tour. U2 always blows my mind. I don't care what anyone says. You can love them, hate them. It does not matter. Like, they've been doing it for 30 years, and they've not been doing it like, say, the Stones, who I also love, where it's sort of, they have all these other musicians, the Stones, and they play their catalog all the time. Whereas U2, every year, it's like, well, here's the new album. We're going to do 8 songs from that. Like it or lump it. That's what's going on. And I dig that. So I love them. I'll tell you this. Ed has blown me away on this tour. You know, you think, here's a guy who sold 20 million albums or whatever it's been, and he doesn't have to be out in the club playing for 4 or 5 million people. But he believes in his new album, and you can hear it when he gets up there and plays. You know, so I'm happy to see anyone who needs it, anyone who goes up there and is like, this matters. If it matters to them, it matters to me. You know? But I just miss Kings of Leon because I was on tour, and I love seeing them. My favorite live performer that you should all go see whenever he is around is Butch Walker. Butch was in the Marvelous 3, and he produces. We've heard millions of songs that the guy has written or produced for other people. Hands down, live performer, just kills every night. Doesn't matter who's there, and I've seen him in places where it's 100 people and the room holds 1,000 people, you know, 150 people, and he just still brings it like it does not matter. And those guys have taught me. I used to get bumped out maybe 40 people, you know, and now we're opening this tour. Sometimes they're off 40 people, and we just try to play like there are 4,000 each time.
It's been great talking with you, Don. Thanks so much. We'll have the review and the videos up soon.
See you guys.
Okay.